Guys, spring is just around the corner and is the perfect time to refresh your routine. Let me tell you a change I have made. I have ditched endless cups of coffee for something better, mud water. If you're looking to cut out those coffee jitters or that midday slump, mud water is perfect for you. It's not your average cup of joe. With a blend of cacao, chai, turmeric, and adaptogenic mushrooms, it will help you feel more focused without the crash. It's smooth, steady, and honestly, it just makes you feel better. And now mud water is available at Target and Sprouts locations throughout the US. So it has never been easier to grab a cup of this pick-me-up. There's also caffeine-free blends available. Functional mushrooms seem to be all the hype right now, so join the club. Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get over 40% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use the code CHAEL. After your purchase, they're going to ask you how you found them. Show your support. Tell them I sent you. Can we officially call Conor McGregor done as a UFC fighter? And I got to tell you, I used to be able to make so much money with Conor. I mean, I could just put that in a headline and the sponsors would come in. They'd buy it in advance. I want your next Conor piece. It was one of these things. And I wouldn't cheer against Conor. Like, it's better for everybody in the industry. The industry is stronger when Conor's present. But I do find myself for a guy that is declaring Conor retired. I mean, I declared for you. I remember where I was. I was in Brazil getting ready to box Anderson Silva in June of last year when Conor pulled out of his fight with Chandler. And the very first thing I came and told you guys is pulling out of his fight with Chandler is akin to announcing retirement. He will not be rebooked. He was just booked. Like if he was to come back to the table, everything that he could ask for, everything that he could get contracts for, everything that they could sign and do, they already did. They did all of them. The same fate where Sarukian is not the number one contender anymore. And that isn't debated even by Sarukian. Everybody understood it. But that exact same thing is happening with Conor. Now, I understand where there's a special process. I'm not declaring that the company wouldn't book him. I'm not declaring that he can't still command and still drive, that the world would not be interested. I just feel that he is making it very clear to us that he is not interested. But I will tell you, I am surprised by my own passion towards the subject. Why do I need him to announce it? Why will I come out and make a video to you guys and say, now, can we admit Conor's retired? Like, there's something about him saying the words that changes everything. But if I was to follow the golden rule of life, the one my mother taught me when I was a little boy, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. How would you want to be treated? How would you feel? And why do you fight? That can be a complex answer, of which there is no wrong answer, but it can be very individualized. And the very first reason, which nobody wants to talk about because they feel like it's too materialistic, is for the money. And the second reason, and your very first fight may not count. Sometimes you just want to see how you do. You just want to go in that environment. You just want to have that experience. But if you ever have a second fight, or a third fight, or a fifth fight, it's for the attention, which is largely what the first fight was about as well. So nobody fights anonymously. Nobody in the history of ever has done a fight and not told their family and friends. All right. But people don't want to talk about money and they don't want to talk about fame. What else would it be? Why would you fight? It can be your social group, for one. I will tell you one of the things that I miss the most. Well, the thing I miss the very most. What do I do with my time? I wake up and go, what do I do with my time? Between driving, between one practice, the second practice, the recovery, the meals that you're having, I mean, it feels like a full day. All of a sudden, you're putting 7, 8, 9, 10 hours into something. And the day winds down, have a little time to yourself, go to sleep, get up and do it all over again. It becomes your life and it becomes a lifestyle. And when that is gone, you try to sit around and figure, what would I do? So I'm only asking. I'm admitting for you that's a box that would have to be checked by a lot of guys, but not Conor. He wouldn't fall into that category. We told he's got plenty of money. He can go out and make movies and get headlines. He can do all sorts of things for that fame. And I don't think that he needs to do that with his time. I don't think that that is his only social group. I don't think he's going to end up like other fighters where they're on the outside looking in. I believe Conor could make one phone call and all of a sudden he's at the desk calling the fights. He could probably even get a desk next to Rogan. Right there at the head table. Probably. Literally. So I don't think he has to do it because there's nothing else to do. Now, Conor is a narcissist. I understand this because I am a narcissist. I know what I'm looking at. But a narcissist has to have what's known as a narcissistic supply. Which means I need a level of attention to feed me. Where am I going to get that? Where am I going to get that supply? And a great place that most athletes go to is social media. They can do it from home. They can do it from anywhere. They can put something out and then get something back. It's interactive. It feeds that supply. So when Conor makes statements, you do have to take that into consideration. I don't know that Conor can spell politics. I do know he has absolutely no interest in politics. But for the last 4 days, he's been going to be the president of Ireland. From what I'm told, the one place in the world that does not like him is the place he's going to be president. I mean, this is just silly, right? We're just being silly. But it feeds a narcissistic supply. So you can take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. Which is the same reason that even if you were retired, you're behaving like somebody that's retired. You have absolutely no license. You haven't had a license. You're allegedly in a pool that, if you were tested, you clearly could not pass. I mean, like there's a lot of things, and that's before we get to the fact that there is not an athlete under contract with the UFC that Conor can beat. That's not meant to be mean. The worst, the least experienced 155-pounder would clean him up. The worst, the least experienced 170-pounder would clean him up. If Conor was to come back and enter at 55 or enter at 70, he would be the worst in the entire division. Not because he wasn't great, just because he hasn't been doing it. We saw the vast change in Conor's when he came back and fought Poirier. I mean, he went from stopping a guy to getting stopped. That is one hell of a swing. You are so much better, they pull you off of a guy. That not only levels out, it goes the other way. And that is a massive swing. But he'd been out. It's as simple as that. He'd been out. His attention was elsewhere. Sport gave us a reminder, something for us all to learn. Got to be focused on it. Now it's not even a question. He had the injury. See, being out because you're making movies or being out because you're not fully focused or being out because you're trying to get a restaurant off the ground, whatever it might be, being out isn't really out. You just weren't fully in. Instead of being there 5 days a week, you're in there 3. Instead of being there 5 days and in your own garage 4 days a week, you're in the garage once, you're in the gym 3, you were late to get to practice and you left early. It's one of those things, but he was still in. And you saw the swing. Now you got to understand, when you're dealing with an injury, it is not an option. It is not a level of discipline. You are out completely. There is no 3 days a week when your leg is straightened out and has a brace on it. There is no 3 days a week. There is no exercise you go over to and I'm going to do what I can do. There is nothing like that. It is nothing. You do not break a sweat. So I'm only sharing for you that when I say that Conor would be the worst under contract, that's a very literal statement. But it isn't an insult. This is just a reality. You then got to look at McGregor. They're not going to bring him back in a fashion that would make a level of sense, which is a 3-round fight. You could even main event him. Make an exception. The same as sometimes you make an exception for a co-main and make it 5 rounds when the title's not up. Do the same thing for the main event, but give him 3 rounds. The human body, at full capacity, can barely do 3 rounds. It is a superhuman body that can do 5. Conor's dealing with an injury. He didn't leave on top when he left. He couldn't finish fights before he left due to fatigue. I've only seen Conor lose 1 fight ever that wasn't due to fatigue. That is the only thing that beat him. The only reason he did not go out and shock the world against Floyd Mayweather was fatigue. Very normal. But some bodies are built for 3 and some are built for 5. That's a 3-rounder. That guy's a 3-rounder. He's always been a 3-rounder. Even when he was signing up for 5, he was a 3-rounder. So it's an unrealistic situation to think that you could bring him back. And I'm saying he can't beat anybody under contract. He doesn't get to just fight anybody under contract because he's a main event for what he's paid. He's got to fight a name. So now forget about all the new guys, all of which would clean him up. We don't have to even get into that. You got to beat Michael Chandler or better. From Michael Chandler on up, there won't be anybody that goes that way in the rankings. Just for example, now what's an easy draw if everything went your way, Charles? If everything really goes your way, you go at 170, but you go against Gaethje. Do you see where this becomes a massive problem? We're going to have a battle of microphones and you're in there with Patty. Now you're getting beat up by a kid who used to look up to you. I mean, this is a nightmare. At what point would you come back? And I never fully saw it. Conor set something down last week and he set down one sentence. He said, greatness is not rushed. And that was the most powerful line that I've had so far. That was more powerful than chickening out of the Chandler fight without an explanation. That was more powerful than missing a press conference a mile away from where you're sitting because of a discolored pinky toe, which may or may not be yours. Like as bad as all those things were, there has been nothing that has made it more clear for me that Conor has done than this statement. Greatness is not rushed. Oh, yes, it is. There is no such thing as greatness, and nobody has ever been great if they did not have urgency. If they did not need it and want it now. They cannot go on. I must have it. Nobody. No countries were forged, no businesses were built, and no fighter ever got his hand raised by thinking I'll do tomorrow what could be done today.